Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Thanks a lot. Saujinya, are you there? Saujinya M. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Yes. Good morning to all. Yeah. Good morning. Right, sir. And what we completed there in the content, guys. Now, I think a few classes I have not taken for this. Guys, then any idea what we completed there in the Spring Boot? I didn't remember it actually what happened there. Spring Boot CLI. Yeah, Spring Web Initializer, that part here we completed. Spring Boot application using STS we completed. Okay, nice. Eclipse is completed. STS is completed. And then after that, what next one? Spring Boot Initializer. That's nice. Oh, the Spring Boot Initializer is also be completed. Right. Okay, now the fourth approach of preparing Spring Boot applications here we have to discuss. That's okay. Good. Right, sir. Now, before going to start this Spring, CLI, before going to start this CLI, here I can use one simple example. Now, try to understand this point clearly, all of you guys. What is that simple example here? We are able to provide there. We are able to use all stereotypes, all stereotype annotations in the Spring Boot applications. Yeah, we are able to use all stereotype annotations in the Spring Boot applications. We can understand this clearly. We know already what is the meaning of the stereotype annotations. Guys, just I'm asking this to you. Tell me what exactly the stereotype annotations, guys. Now tell me. What exactly the stereotype annotations, guys? Now tell me what you're understanding there about stereotype annotations. All right, perfect. Auto word is normal annotation only. Stereotype annotations. Right, at the rate service, at the rate repository. Nice. Then one more main thing here we are able to understand. At the rate controller, right? Perfectly. At the rate controller, at the rate service, and at the rate repository. At the rate component, of course. Component and as well as like what their auto word annotation. They're normal annotations only. Stereotype annotations are in the sense like what they're mainly three now. Okay. That's okay, fine. That's okay, fine. Yeah, now here my point is like what there we can use stereotype annotations in the Spring Boot applications. Okay, clear. Next one is like what I'm telling to you. Observe carefully. Everybody understand this clearly. In stereotype annotations, we are able to use at the rate controller to declare or to make a component as a controller. Okay, observe carefully. As a controller, that's okay, fine. There we are able to write some business logic. There we are able to access that controller methods. That's all the points we are able to understand clearly. Okay, where we are able to use controller, we are able to define some logic, we are able to get the controller component in the main application, we are able to access the business methods. That's okay. But observe carefully, one more small annotation here I'm telling there with respect to the Spring Boot. Now try to recognize this. If you want to get a response directly into the browser, if you want to get response directly into the browser from the controller component, controller bean or controller component, then we have to use @REST controller instead of, then we have to use REST controller instead of @controller. Guys, all of you get my point now? Of course, in a Spring Boot REST, I will discuss this topic there, but a simple dependency is available. That's why I'm introducing this @REST controller point here. Everybody understand this clearly? Just I'm using what there REST controller. What's the purpose of this REST controller here? In this case, no, if you want to get a response directly into the browser from the controller component, then we have to use @REST controller instead of @controller. As again I'm telling there, my request, my thing is what there, my requirement is like what there, just to define, just to get a response into the browser. Spring Boot itself is a web application or not? Spring Boot is a standalone application, then it will make ready that web application or not? It internally start the server and it internally prepare the web application or not? Guys, answer for my questions, whatever the questions I'm asking there. Internally that Spring Boot is making our Spring Boot application is a web application or not, but basically it's a standalone application. If you run the standalone application, automatically web application is going to be started internally. Okay, already we understood that points clearly. Okay, that's it. Not required, Charan. Not required to use any other one, just directly we can use an annotation, automatically the response we are able to get into the respective client. Yeah, now let me show one example, by that you are able to get some clarity. Why I'm discussing the REST controller immediately at present now, I will give the discussion here. What's the requirement of this one? Okay, let's understand this point here. Understand this. Say for example, yeah, I want to prepare an example. Now try to recognize this. What we are getting there. Right, no issues. Spring Boot initializer start.io start.spring.io. Right, there's a point here we have to open. Now okay, I want to create content here. Yeah, Jayant, I will discuss with you. Don't worry. @controller and @REST controller, we have so many differences there. I'll discuss with you the Spring REST, but here as of now, understand the point here directly. Okay, the simple difference I'm telling there. @controller, just it is like what they're making the component as a controller class. The controller component will be created inside the IOC container. That's it. Max, we are able to get it and we have to access the business method. But REST controller response is what there. Whatever the value here we return here, that value will come to the directly browser. In the browser, we can see that. But in the case of controller, Yeah, let's see this. We'll see this. Alok K, are you there? Alok, then have you received any mail from Durgasoft? Then don't you have any ID number there? Admission number. Hmm? Then please try to attend the session with ID number, admission number there, right? Right. I'll say this. Okay, guys. Now let me prepare the content again. Observe carefully. So first of all, now I want to prepare the project, guys. Now give some help to me. Then how I created, what I have to select here from this. Now please give information to me. First of all, in the project, what I have to select, guys. Now what I have to select there. Java is already selected. What I have to select here in under the project, no, Maven. Maven I have to select. Then it's okay. Language is what there, Java. Spring Boot by default selected 3.1.0. It's okay. Just we can manage it after that. Then what details here we have to provide there? Group ID. Group ID should be like what there? Com.durgasoft. Artifact ID here I want to provide like what there? Now tell me what next one here we have to use there. Spring Boot app. Already I think so. Two applications here we prepared here. Now third one or fifth one I think so. Guys, I think so. Previously we prepared some Spring Boot application there. Now let me check with that. D drive. Where somewhere else here I prepared it. No. 1 minute wait. All right. Now let me create like what there. Spring Boot initializer. Somewhere else I provided them. Right, no problem. Any number here we can give that. I want to give some number to you. Now try to recognize this Spring Boot app 04. For example, I'm providing this demo project for Spring Boot. Then it's okay. Everything is okay, fine. Jar and version is 17. Now click on like what the generate. But before that, what is required here? Now tell me. I need to add a dependency. What dependency here I need to add here? Say for example, web dependency here I'm adding there. Please recognize this build web including RESTful. What we are getting there, including RESTful and application using Spring MVC, Apache Tomcat as a default embedded container. That's okay, fine. This I want to add. That's enough. Spring Web, that is sufficient. Not required to provide this content here. 1 minute before going to my Spring Boot app. Right, up to 4 here we are getting there. Now 5 I want to provide. I want to change this application. That means 505, for example. Right. Everything is okay. I don't want to go for any changes here. Now okay, just I want to go for like what there. Click on generate control. Okay. Now let me copy this, show in folder again. Now already it is generated again. Now let me copy this. I want to go with like what there, D drive, my Spring Boot apps. Let me paste here. This I have to extract it. Let me extract here. Okay. And then after this, what we have to do, we can use either of the things, guys. Then either we can use any ID, we can use that. Maybe Eclipse ID we can use, or maybe IntelliJ IDEA we can use that. Observe carefully. Just I want to go with like what there, IntelliJ IDEA. IntelliJ IDEA here I'm adding there. Right. It is taking this much of time. Yeah, that's okay, fine. Now here, what I want to do there, just I want to open this file here. Right click on this file. Okay. Okay. File, open. Open project here we have to provide. Now here inside this, then what we have to provide there, Spring Boot app 05 that I want to prepare. Okay. Trust project, no problem. This window. Right now here we are getting that Spring Boot project here. Now just it is loading. Load Maven project. Now here we are getting it. Java resources. Now inside the Java, here we are getting like what the Spring Boot app 05 application. Like this here we are getting it. Right. Now here the point is what? What next one here after completion of this? Here we are getting this application here. Now let me open this. Here we are getting now this is about Spring Boot application. Spring application.run method, then everything here we provided. That's okay, nice. Right, so still it is doing some work here, indexing, let us wait for the time. Observe carefully. What's the point I'm telling there? Now this is like what I'm telling there. Spring Boot project. Directly I can run it and I am able to get some value here. Right now here, system.out println off. Still some work is going on. Okay, just wait a minute of time. Indexing is going on. Yeah, sys out. Okay. Now again, just I want to write like what the normal message only, guys. Now observe carefully. Welcome to Spring Boot. Some message, understand it clearly. Welcome to Spring Boot application. Yeah, that's okay, fine. This is like our normal content. Nothing else I'm going to provide. In a pom.xml file, the required content here we provided here. Yeah. Then apart from this, like what the Spring Boot web starter test and all the things are available. Right. It's okay. Now here I want to run this example. There we are able to see some content. Right click here, just as like standalone application here we have to run. Just give a minute out and let it complete now. Now it is loading the total content here. Right. Now it's okay. Right click here. Yeah, why it is taking much time? Right. Run this Spring Boot APP05 application. Of course, we can take that Eclipse ID also to run this application. If we are able to get it. Now Spring Boot application has been started. Now here we are getting our required application. That's okay, fine. Nice, sir. Understand it clearly. Say for example, everybody observe carefully. Say for example, now this is like I want to stop this. Termination is important. Terminating the content is important here. And this one also I want to clear. Now what I want to prepare there, I want to prepare a controller layer. Now com.durgasoft Spring Boot APP05, right click on it. A new package I want to take. The package name is like what there, controller, for example. Inside this controller package, no, I want to take a name, a class I want to take. What is my class here? Say for example, hello controller. I want to provide like what there, hello controller. Simple. If you want to prepare this hello controller, now here, not required to do anything here, just I want to provide a method. What is that method here I want to provide there? Public string. Say for example, just I want to write like what there, say hello. Nothing else, just I want to return. What I want to return here now? Return the simple hello user that I want to prepare. Guys, all of you understand it. I want to say it's a controller. Clear? I want to say it is what there, a controller. If you want to say it is a controller, if you want to represent it is a controller, we need to declare this hello controller class as a controller component or not? Come on guys, understand it now. We need to declare this component as what there, hello controller component or not? Yes? No response. We need to use one annotation to declare it as a controller, right? What annotation here we have to use? Yes, exactly. Now here we have to use like what there, at the rate controller, at the rate controller annotation here we have to use. Okay, right. At the rate controller annotation here we are using. That's nice. Now tell me, if we are using this is a controller in a Spring Boot application, what we have to do there? Now here, instead of displaying this data, there we have to get like what there, something else like application context or something else here we have to get. No, we need to get that container component. From the container we have to get that controller object. There we have to access what there, say control, say hello method. That is one approach here. Understand it clearly. Okay. If you want to execute the same application as like a web application in the resources part, properties dot application dot properties file is available. There we have to provide so many configurations. What are the so many configurations here we have to provide? The view resolver we have to provide, handler mapping we have to provide, almost some number of configurations here we have to provide. Understand my point? So even after providing these many things, no, we have to open the browser. There we have to provide some URL in order to access the application there. This is a point here we have to do. But what I'm telling this straightly, instead of providing these many components, and instead of using like what their configurations inside the properties file, and instead of maintaining some JSP pages and all these things, instead of doing all these things, instead of using this controller, if you want to get directly response into the browser, don't use that controller. There we have to use like what there directly. Here we have to go with what there REST controller. Here we have to use what we have to use there REST controller. Now directly I want to use some URL. Through that URL I want to get the return value of this method into my browser. If I use controller, I have to get application context object. Then after that I have to get data from the application. That means controller object I have to get. Then I have to access the say hello method. This is normal standalone application. But if you want to do the same thing in web applications, we have to use controller. Then after that we have to define an URL for this controller at the respective browser. We have to type that URL. But inside the properties file, we must provide so many configuration details. So many configuration details here we have to provide, like resolvers, handler mappings, like what there some different configuration details we have to provide inside like what there properties file. But my requirement is what? Directly I want to get response from controller to the browser. Directly I want to get it. That's why here we have to use like what there REST controller at the rate like what there REST controller. That's okay, fine. After this, for this particular method, we need to define a particular URL or not. I want to access this method just by providing what there an URL. To provide that URL, here we have to use what there like request mapping. Under annotation here we are going to use inside the request mapping. Just we have to define an URL. What's that URL here we are able to provide there? Simply I want to provide like what there hello. What's that URL here I'm providing there? Simply I'm going to provide like what there hello. Hello is an URL here we are able to provide. Guys, observe carefully. REST controller main intention is to get response into the browser. Just like we are going to access it as like what there a REST template, like what there then a RESTful services. We are going to access this one as like what there RESTful service, REST endpoint. So that's why here we are defining like what there an URL for this particular method. If I use this URL in the browser, automatically this method is going to be executed. Right, so now let me check this one here, what we are able to get now. All right, for the sake of in browser here I want to execute it. That's why here I'm going to use like what there h1 I'm going to use there for your understanding purpose. All right, so now h1 HTML tag there. With that h1 it able to provide some content here. Okay, that's okay, good. Everything is okay, fine. Observe carefully. First of all, what we have to do, just execute this Spring Boot application. Then after that, open the browser. There we have to provide the URL. What URL here we are able to provide here. Now try to understand this clearly. First of all, let me run this one. Only two annotations here we provided. Yes, what are the two annotations here? First one is what there @REST controller. Second one is what there @request mapping and URL pattern I defined. Right, sir. My Spring Boot project was started. My Spring Boot project was started. You can observe carefully. This is like Spring Boot project. Then immediately open the browser. In the browser, just we have to type the URL http:// localhost. Guys, now I'm asking there. Please recognize this. What exactly the port number, default port number in a Spring Boot for Tomcat, guys? Guys, now tell me. By default, what port number here we have to provide there? 8080. 8080. No need to use any application and nothing else. No, directly put a slash. What is the URL we defined for say hello method? What is the URL we provided for say hello method? What is the URL we provided for say hello method? All right, URL we provided. We defined URL. See, what is the URL we defined here in a say hello method? Hello controller I have taken here. Inside this hello controller, 1 minute. What happened? Right, sir. Here what we define here slash hello here we are getting or not. IntelliJ IDEA is giving even this globe symbol here. This is the web. So in the browser, just we have to write like what there hello. If we click on enter button, there we are getting like what value here. Here we are getting directly the written value of this method or not. Not required to take context for nothing else. That is the meaning of REST API. Not required to take any application name. Just we can use like what there, http :// localhost : port number / directly URL, whatever the URL we defined there. That's enough. Automatically that method will be executed. Controller method will be executed. Then controller method is able to return some value. That value here we displayed on command prompt. That value here we displayed on what there, console. Yes, sir. Or if you're getting this point or not. Now here we are getting responses like what there, hello user here we are getting. Yes, all of you are getting clarity on this, how to execute this as a web application, and how to get response into the browser here, just because of only two annotations. What are the two annotations now? At the rate REST controller and at the rate request mapping. Only because of these two only here we are getting it now. Right, sir? But more about this content I will discuss there in the Spring Boot REST. There is a separate topic for us, Spring Boot REST. There I'm going to discuss more about it. But as of now, we have to understand the point here. We have to understand it. Okay. Yeah, Amarinder G. Amarinder Ji, are you there? Don't you receive any mail? Do you have any mail from Durgasoft admin? Then where don't you have any admission number? Don't you have any admission number? Hmm? No, offline. You're from offline or online? Offline, right? Yeah. Online, no? Okay, fine. Then please try to join with admission number, right? Then better to join with admission number. Everybody there entering their admission number. And at the same time, Saujin, you're not responding for me. Saujin, please try to join with admission number. Okay. All right. Now I'm telling that information to you. What you have asked the question there. Sir, if no application name is given, then how about if more applications deployed in a single server? Please remember one point I'm telling there. In a pom.xml file, if you observe this, if pom.xml file, if you observe this, we added one dependency. What dependency here we added there? Observe carefully. This is a dependency here we added. Clear? Now this dependency contained what there? What we have there? Not webinar ID. Amarinder, Durgasoft has given some admission number for every student, which started with N some letter, right? So please try to join that as a first time in the registration form. Okay, fine. Yeah. Now here we provided Spring Boot starter web. We provided now. It contains what? Then Spring Web module is available. REST components are available. REST API is available. Apart from all these things, embedded container is also be included in our project. Embedded server is also be included in our project. Understood it clearly now? That embedded server is exclusively for this particular Spring Boot application only. Whatever the embedded server which is available inside this Spring Boot starter web, no, that server is exclusively for this application only, which is running on 8080. For example, if you prepare some other web application, some other application there, in that some other application, we are going to provide the same Spring Boot starter web dependency. There also another embedded server is available that should be run on different port number. It should not be run on the same port number. It must be run on different port number. So that is a different server. Now this application server is what there, different server. So in the case of Spring Boot, don't think multiple applications I'm going to provide in a single embedded server. No. Every application has its own embedded server. In that server only that application is going to be deployed. In that server only that application is going to be executed. Understand it clearly? Are you getting it clearly now? But port numbers are different, Charan Kumar. Port numbers are different, right? Same port number we are not providing there. Port numbers are different, no? Right. Yeah, that's enough, guys. That's the content here we can understand. Yeah, no need to worry for it. In the Spring REST, we are able to get all this content clarity. But here we have to understand inside the Spring Boot. See, right from beginning we are saying that Spring Boot has an embedded server. That server is applicable for only the present application. That server is able to deploy only the present application. We can run this particular server and this particular application on a different port number. On the base of that port number, we can identify like what is this server in instance. On the base of port number, then if you provide any URL there, on the base of that URL, your method is going to be accessed. All right. These are the points here we can understand clearly. Okay, sir. Nice, good. So this application here we are getting it. Now try to recognize this. Now here, what I want to do there, just I want to list out this application here. Now try to recognize this now. All right. The example code here I'm telling there. Observe carefully. First of all, here I want to prepare like what directly Spring Boot 05 as is this here we are preparing now. .05 application dot Java. Next one is what? After completion of this, hello controller dot Java here we have to prepare. Hello controller dot Java. Okay, up to 24 they extended to me. Nice, no problem. Then what I'm going to do there, next one is like what there pom.xml file also I want to provide. Right, pom.xml, but not required every time pom.xml. The standard one we have to use it. But the point is like what there. Right, to execute. Right, to execute. Then first of all, here what we have to do there, execute Spring Boot application. Execute Spring Boot application as like execute Spring Boot application as like standalone application. Standalone application. And then after this, what next one here we have to do there after completion of this standalone application and access the application by using the following URL at the browser. What that URL here we are going to use at the browser here. Now observe carefully. Now http:/s localhost 8080/ directly here we can write what there hello. There we are able to get answer is what there hello user. Like this response here we are able to get. Okay, fine. This is the way to prepare like what there our application. Right, sir. Leave this one. Next one is okay. Leave this content here. That's enough that I required. Actually, if you want to go for the CLI, that REST controller request mapping, these two things are required here. That's why here I provided this. Now try to understand it. Using CLI. Application development, Spring Boot applications. Spring Boot applications development by using CLI. First of all, guys, now tell me what is this Spring Boot CLI? What is this Spring Boot CLI? Now give clarity on it. No. CLI in a sense, command line interface. Command line interface. It's available. Is a Spring Boot software to run and test Spring Boot applications from command prompt. Observe carefully what I'm telling there. Spring Boot CLI, that is like what their command line interface is a Spring Boot software to run and test Spring Boot applications from command prompt. All right, sir. Then one internal point here, what I'm telling there, if you run a Spring Boot application by using CLI, if you run Spring Boot application by using CLI, internally internally CLI uses Spring Boot starter and Spring Boot auto configurator, Spring Boot starter and Spring Boot auto configurator components to resolve all the dependencies and to execute the Spring Boot application. If you run Spring Boot application by using CLI, internally CLI uses Spring Boot starter and Spring Boot auto configurator components to resolve all the dependencies and to execute the Spring Boot application. This is a point here we can understand. But how are we are going to use this clearly? Observe carefully. How? Observe carefully. All right, sir. If you use Spring Boot, if you prepare the Spring Boot application and if you run the Spring Boot applications, Spring Boot contains internally Groovy and Grape to add Spring Boot defaults and resolve all dependencies automatically. But how it is possible? How it is possible to get all the defaults and resolving all the dependencies? How Spring Boot is able to do all these things? Right. One more point here I'm telling you. In a Spring Boot applications, to get all the defaults and to resolve all the dependencies, Spring Boot uses Groovy script and Grape. What is this Grape actually? I'll give clarity, don't worry for it. Alright, sir. This is like what there? Jar dependency manager. Grape is what there is a tool, jar dependency manager. Grape is what there? Jar dependency manager uses internally. Spring Boot uses Groovy and Grape. Jar dependency manager internally. That's it. Now these are the two things here we are able to get clearly. The Spring Boot is internally these two components here. Just information all I'm giving here. Leave this one. Next one is after that to prepare and execute Spring Boot applications by using CLI. We have to use the following steps. What are the various steps here we have to use there? Now try to recognize, guys, all of you know. Everybody observe carefully. Here we are going to use some steps. Step number 1, observe carefully. Download and install Spring Boot CLI. This we have to install separately. Spring Boot CLI. Okay. After this, after completion of this, provide Groovy script code. Yeah, I'll show how to prepare this. Groovy script is nothing, this is almost all Java only, but little bit changes are available, but the file extension should be .groovy. That's it. Third one is what there? Run Groovy script code through Spring Boot CLI. That's it. First of all, let's download this one. Now try to understand it. All right, so now I want to download and install Spring Boot like what there is Spring Boot CLI. Let me check for it. I'll give steps also parallelly. Now try to recognize them. Yeah, just to prepare Spring Boot applications, we are able to prepare Spring Boot applications by using Java and by using Groovy. Okay, Kotlin also, maybe another one. In 3 ways, we are able to use In three languages we are going to use to prepare Spring Boot applications. But when compared with Java, Groovy script has some advantages, small advantages only, but not standard one. Then still everybody they are using what their Java only. But we can avoid some other complexities in our Spring Boot application by using Groovy. But Groovy was used by Spring Boot internally, but even we can prepare applications explicitly by using Groovy, but it is for only small test cases purpose only, not for like what there, not for enterprise application development. Okay, see, if we observe this point here, then easily we are able to understand the content. All right, sir. Let's see this one. First of all, I want to download it. Now let me Google it. Spring Boot CLI download. That's all of you observe carefully. Spring Boot CLI download. This is docs only. Let me open it. Are you getting any link here for getting this? Spring Boot CLI command is line tool that you can use to bootstrap new project from. 1 minute. Right, sir. Yeah, now here we are getting it. Manual installation here I want to check now. Getting started manual here we have to start there. Where inside this getting started manual, there we have to get like what the zip file is available that we have to get it. Right, so now here we are able to get like what the zip file. All right. Now here it was downloaded. Just we have to use this. Right. Step number 1. Right, so now step number 1. Step number 1 here, what I'm telling you now, observe carefully here. Now, point number 1, use the following URL in a web browser. Use the following URL in web browser. This is that URL, web browser, or search in Google for Spring Boot CLI. Download. Like this, we can use. Then whatever the work we are doing here, just try to do this. Then what next one here after this? No, select job. What we have to select there? Spring Boot hyphen CLI hyphen some version here. What version here we are getting there? Observe carefully. 3.1.0 hyphen bin. 3.1.0 hyphen bin dot zip file. Select it. Okay, then it will be downloaded. Then what I have to do then? If you download this, show in folder. Let me get this one. Copy. E drive. Inside the E drive now here what I am telling there. Softwares. On the Spring Boot CLI. Already it is existed with me. The previous version there. Now I want to get it. Newer version here we are getting. That's okay. Fine. Now, then what next one is after completion of this? No. Now here we have to let me copy this under C drive again. C drive. Are you getting it? No. No, it's not available. Now let me copy this, paste here, continue. Right, sir, it is existed. Then what we have to do there? Now here, whenever we are getting it, no, we need to extract this one here. Right, now let us check this one. Right, sir. Now copy the download it. Copy the download it zip file in a C drive and extract it. Right, sir. If we extract this, then what we are able to get there? Extract here. Yes, of course, WinRAR. Right. Spring 3.1.0. Here we are getting a folder. Spring 3.1.0. Here we are getting a folder. Okay. Right, sir. Refresh it. All right. Now here we are getting like what is Spring 3.1.0. Here we are getting a folder. All right. Then what's the point here I'm telling there? When we extracted this, extract it and get Spring 3.1.0 folder. Right, sir. Next one is what? Then after this, whenever we are getting like this, number 4, see this one, we have to set this. Now here we are getting Spring 3.1.0 there, bin is available. All right, some command is available, Spring command is available that we have to set in a path environment variable. Guys, observe carefully. All right, set this location to path environment variable. Set to path environment variable. That's of course permanently or temporarily, that depends on our requirement. Now I want to set in permanently. Every time I don't want to use it, and moreover I want to stop this server here. Let me stop this. I want to set permanently, so you can right click on this PC, properties, advanced system settings. Here we have to use in our advanced system settings. No, environment variables, path here I want to use. Of course here we are getting path. Now here I want to add newer one. I'll add this bin. Okay, it's completed. Next one is like what? After completion of this, what I have to do here? Now I need to check whether we specify like this. No, then I have to check whether the Spring Boot Spring command is running or not in the command prompt here. All right, so now let me check this now. Set a path in the path environment variable. Check the Spring command on command prompt by using the following commands. All right, so what are the commands here we have used there? Now try to recognize this. The comments are very simple. Now try to understand it now. Let me open command prompt here. Inside the command prompt, just to check like what there Spring. Yeah, now it is working there. Spring is a command here we provided here. Now it is working. So many things are existed here. That's okay, fine. Now I want to use some commands here. What commands here I want to use there? Spring space hyphen version. All right, version. Now we are able to get Spring Boot CLI version data here. We are able to get Spring CLI version 3.1.0 that we are able to get. Right, sir. Next one is what there. Now this is one point here we can understand version here we are getting. Next one is Spring hyphen help. Spring help we are getting there. Hyphen help here that we are able to get different options aligned with our Spring. Okay, like this here we are able to use. All right, what commands here we have to use there? First one is like what there? First one is All right. Spring space hyphen version to get Spring Boot CLI version. Next one is Spring space hyphen help. Help to get help for the Spring Boot CLI commands. Next one is after this Spring space run space. Then what we have to provide there? Groovy script. Groovy script dot groovy. Now we can execute this Spring Groovy script by using this command here. What is the command here we have to use there? Spring run groovy script dot groovy. Groovy file here we have to use. That's it. So these are the various commands here we are able to use. Now anyway, that Spring command is running in our content. Right, sir. Now next one is like what? The second one, step number two. Step number two, prepare groovy script. Prepare what there? Groovy script. Right, how I'm going to prepare this groovy script now? Observe carefully. Nothing, no need to go for any separate IDE, nothing else. No, my Spring Boot apps here I'm preparing there. Now here itself I want to prepare a separate file. What's that file? Directly file here I want to prepare, or else maybe I want to go with Spring Boot app 06. I want to use inside this Spring Boot 06. No, I want to prepare a file directly. What file I'm going to prepare there? Directly I'm going to use. Now try to understand this clearly. Right, my file name is like what there? Something else here. I want to use this Sublime text here. Now inside the Sublime, not required to use this. Now here I want to go with anything. Right, no problem here. I want to prepare like what there? Sublime text. New file here I want to take. File, new file. New file. I want to save this. Where we want to save this? Observe carefully. D drive, my Spring Boot apps. Inside this Spring Boot app 06. There I want to prepare my file name. That is like what there. What is the file name here I'm preparing? No, just observe carefully. Hello controller dot, that file might be extension should be like what there? Groovy. Hello controller dot groovy. That groovy is like what there? Controller. That means this is a controller class here we have to prepare. Now here we have to prepare a public class. Observe carefully. Hello controller. The same hello controller here I want to prepare. Observe carefully. Now here I want to say like what the same method here, whatever the method here we have used there. Public string say hello. Now here inside these just I want to return like what there. Hello user. Welcome to Spring Boot Groovy script. Welcome to Spring Boot Groovy script that I provided. But now here we have to use annotations or not? There here we have to use annotations. What annotations here we have to use there? @rest controller. @rest controller. This is one thing. Now just above this method here we have to use like we have to define an URL request mapping. Then where we have to provide like what there /hello. No need to provide any import statements, no need to use anything. Just we have to prepare this code like this. Directly @rest controller, public class hello controller. Next one is what there? @request mapping /hello, public string say hello, return hello user, welcome to Spring Boot Groovy script. Right. Now this is the content here we have used there. Now try to, so this file is okay. Now this file is ready. The next one is like what there we have to execute this application. How sir, how we are able to execute the application here? Already given some command. What was the command here I've given there to run this Groovy script application? Now, just first of all, we have to go to the open the command prompt. Already we opened this command prompt. Go to the location where we provided your file, Groovy script file, where we provided this. That location here we have to go there. Okay. Then get what is that location here we have to use there. Now get it will be like what is this cd space my springboard apps. Then cd. Then what we have to provide there springboard app 040506. All right, sir. Now get dir if you open it where hello controller groovy dot is existed here. That's okay. We have to come for this particular location. Inside the location, just we have to use the command. What command here we have to use there? Spring run now the file name hello groovy hello controller dot groovy. Then if you use this automatically, this is not valid command. Say help. Why? What happened? Okay. Okay. How it is going to be executed, guys? I think so. It might be not evaluating that. One minute, guys. Let me check it. How it is. One minute. One minute. How can we execute this? How it is not possible? The run command is not existed. 1 minute. I think so. Something is going on, guys. Now this is like what I'm telling there. So version might be we are using like what there 3.1.0. I think so. Here inside this might be they provided some other content here. Here we are not getting like this exactly. What do we have to do there? Let me check with the older version. Just let me check with the older version. That run command is not working now. No, Amarinder, not required. There is nobody will use this in real-time application development. Just example point of I'm showing that. Not to think much about it. E drive, then softwares. All right, Spring Boot to CLI. Let me check with this. Copy this. Right. Copy this. No, just it is not for real-time application development. Just this is only for the sake of like what there. What I'm telling to you. Testing point of view, we are using this. Just information point of view, I'm using it. This is also an approach here. That's why here I'm using now. But anyway, I want to show this. But it's not working now. Why? Let me check it. Command prompt here. I want to close this. Let me open command prompt. D:/cd my Spring Boot apps. Something else like what is PD Spring Boot ABB 6. Okay. Spring hyphen version. Yeah, now we are getting it. Now get Spring run. Now get what we have to provide there. Hello controller dot groovy. Now here we are getting some exception. Okay. Right, sir. Understand it clear what I'm telling there. Oh, we need to execute this. Why it is not running there? It has to show this. Invocation target. No, it has to. Not started. That's okay, right? So it's not working. Java 7 is required. Just give 1 minute of time, guys. Now here we have to provide. Let me change all. See, oh, Groovy. It's not running. Is expecting any other version there? And a Java version. VM plugin. This is not existed. Okay. I think the Spring Boot version I have to change. Guys, then do one thing. Now give some time to me. I'll execute this later and I'll execute, and tomorrow I will show output for this. Tomorrow I will show it. Then after completion of tomorrow, I will start a new topic in Spring Boot. Don't worry. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. I'll meet on tomorrow. Not to worry for it. Then I will show this content. Yeah. I think some setups are required here. Let me check once all the content. Thank you.